What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. After what seemed like a never-ending storyline for USC and Lincoln Riley, we have finally gone out and got our GM. That's right, USC went straight into South Bend and ended up poaching Irish general manager Chad Bowden. So initial thoughts, this is an absolute home run. Any way you look at it, this is a big time move by Lincoln Riley and Jen Cohen, which, by the way, when you are down in my comment section leaving comments about praising Lincoln Riley, make sure you throw Jen Cohen's name in there too. For some reason, I've been having to defend her ever since she got hired at USC. A ton of negative comments about her and the job she's done, when all she's done since arriving at USC is steady the ship and give Lincoln Riley every single tool he needs to win. She's a phenomenal athletic director, and this hire is just yet another example of that. And guys, before I forget, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now let's get more into this. All right, so taking a look at Chad Bowden. Chad was actually the first hire for Marcus Freeman back in 2021. Remember, he originally got the defensive coordinator job when he came over from Cincinnati, and Chad was the first guy he brought in. He was with him at Cincinnati as well. And in 2021, he was the recruiting coordinator for the Notre Dame defense. But when Marcus was promoted to be the head coach, then obviously he promoted Chad to be the overall recruiting coordinator for the entire team. And guys, just a heads up, I know it's kind of against the grain for what I do here on this channel, but there unfortunately is going to be a lot of praise for the Irish today. A lot of showing you what they've done well over these last few years. I don't like talking about it any more than you like listening to it. But unfortunately for this conversation, it's necessary and we have to talk about it. So before we get into praising them, I would like to say that I find it hilarious that coming off a national title appearance, they've lost Al Golden to the Bengals, 2 starting offensive linemen, and now their GM all in the same week. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, you are a twisted individual. But overall, and again, it makes me sick to say this, but I am a massive fan of how that Notre Dame program is currently ran. From the roster construction to the way they play, to the kind of kids they bring in. I love everything about the way they handle their business, and I think that's the model USC should be following. The only caveat being we can get much more talented players at USC. For example, looking over the entire Notre Dame roster, the players are similar. They all came from the same foundation, the same base. That entire program is built around toughness, preparedness, and accountability. From the quarterback to the punter to the safeties to the defensive linemen, they're all very similar type of players. You see the way they interact with each other. Just go and listen to some Notre Dame press conferences. All of these guys sound like they're exactly the same. Now on the flip side, look at USC since Lincoln Riley has arrived. The roster construction is all over the place. It makes little to no sense. There's no identity. There's no kind of guy we go after. Instead of bringing in 3 or 4 really solid guys that are going to contribute to the locker room and be good character guys, we're throwing money on locker room cancers like Bear Alexander. If there is one thing we have learned over the last 3 years, it's that Dave Emmerich and Lincoln Riley cannot put together a solid roster. We've had massive depth issues these last 2 years. We have a massive amount of misses in the transfer portal. We have much more money than Notre Dame does. In fact, the budget that Bowden was working with in South Bend was around $7 to $8 million. We're more than double that at USC. And look at how we spend our money and look at how they spent theirs. They had a plan, they had criteria for their players, and Bowden is a very good talent evaluator. Riley Leonard was the absolute perfect quarterback for this Notre Dame team. Was he the best quarterback available in the transfer portal? No, he was not. But he fit that team like a glove, and I thought he did a fantastic job for them this year. There's been a lot of personnel decisions at USC that are just absolutely baffling, and with the kind of money we're paying Chad to be here at USC, he is not going to be a bystander. He is not going to be underneath Lincoln Riley. This is going to be a 1A, 1B when it comes to roster decisions. And honestly, that's the way I would prefer it. What we've learned about Lincoln Riley in the brief time he's been at USC, he's hard-headed, he can't get out of his own way sometimes, and he thinks he can handle more than he actually can. He has too much on his plate, and when he came to USC, he was a great X's and O's coach. And I think he's lost some of that because he's wearing too many hats. He's trying to do too many different things in the organization. Deferring some of that responsibility to one of the best guys in the business, I just can't say enough how big of a move that truly is. And not only that, but you are directly harming your biggest rival. You see a tweet here from Jack Sobel saying if Marcus Freeman made a list of people at Notre Dame he could least afford to lose, Chad Bowden might be number 1. I mean, guys, we're talking about a former player personnel director of the year. This is the biggest hire Lincoln Riley has made at USC. Yes, I am even including Dan Lynn in that. I've been doing a lot of research and really trying to read up on what Chad specifically did at Notre Dame. If he was the one that was leading the charge in the transfer portal, or if it was more Marcus Freeman's thing. You have a lot of Notre Dame writers saying that Chad was actually the leading force in the transfer portal for the Irish. But yeah, man, I really had no idea what direction this search was going to turn. I really thought it was going to be an NFL guy just because of the timeline and how long it was taking. But now it makes all the sense in the world. Notre Dame was still in the playoff. They were in the national title game. Of course, it was going to take longer to get this deal done. And now that it's here, I am not at all disappointed. This is just a huge, massive pickup for Lincoln Riley and this program. And man, I said it before and I'll say it again, probably the highest paid coaching staff in the country, now the highest paid GM in the country, paying him well north of $1 million. Lincoln Riley is out of excuses. We have to do something this year. We have to make the playoff. And guys, this spring window coming up is going to be the most important window Lincoln Riley's had at USC. This roster, as it currently stands, we are not good enough to make the college football playoff. There are too many holes. We have too many depth concerns. We need help in the linebacker room, in the secondary. I really wish we would add a starting quality quarterback, but I don't think we're going to do that. We also need another proven receiver. And Lord knows we need some offensive line help as well. So still a lot of work to be done, and this window coming up is absolutely crucial. But yeah, very, very happy with this hire. Any way you look at it, it's a home run. This is a guy with college experience who you poached from your biggest rival. That is one of the absolute best at what he does in the entire country. It's less off of Lincoln's plate. It gives him another voice in the room. And maybe this will help Lincoln get out of his own way and get back to doing what he does best. And that is being a head football coach. Not all that other stuff that comes along with it these days. But guys, I am absolutely stoked to hear what you have to say about this. As soon as I hit publish on this video, I am going to be down in the comments seeing what you guys have to say. So any thoughts you have, please let me know down below. And guys, if you're happy about this news or you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. You're all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on.